from Love Buddy. Today we're going to talk about ways to be more loving, giving away love. I was actually inspired to talk about this topic by a guy named Graham Cochran. His link for his website is on the top of the comments here. And the reason that I wanted to share him and share what this idea is about giving away love is because he mentions himself. I want to find it so I can share that with you. He mentions himself. He's in the business of helping people do home recording studios, and he sells a course in that. And he was so successful and he loved so much selling the course in that he decided to help other people to sell their courses as well. So now he's doing two businesses. He's doing the business of helping people with their home studios and also helping people to sell courses for whatever. So because I do courses about love, I look to him for guidance because he's been doing that longer than I have. And he knows more than I do about that. So right now, let's see if I can find his website and share that with you so you can see this guy. But one of the things he says that he does is, okay, so this is his website. Not really coming into focus, is it? This is his website, GrahamCochran.com. And one of the things that he mentioned, I like to listen at night sometimes when I can't sleep, or even while I'm sleeping, I'll be playing some videos on YouTube. And one of the things that he shares is he gives away all of his information. He doesn't hold back and then just give it during the course, because the course is a different objective. So when you have something to share with the world, you give it away. If people want to buy a course, okay, that's a hand-holding, that's a special kind of a coaching, consulting process that you can't get from raw information. If raw information was really going to help everybody, then they just go to the library, just look on the internet. Nobody would be needing to nurture, hand-hold, walk anyone through the steps. So the courses are about walking someone through so they get it and answering questions along the way. This is active, this is nurturing, this is love. Throwing a book at somebody is not love, or just, browsing the internet or whatever. It doesn't have the same quality. It doesn't have that same strength. It doesn't have the same impact, and it doesn't have the same value to people at all. So you get a lot of information free anywhere. But the most important thing that you want to do is be able to nurture people with that course. And if you're not in a course, but you're sharing information, share it freely. Don't worry about holding back. You don't want to tell people things. And this is the same thing about love. We don't want to hold back our love for some special, some hidden agenda. We want to be able to share love. We want to be generous with our love. Because when we give love, we receive more love. It brings more love to the world. It brings more love to our own lives. But how do we do that? What are some of the key ways we can do that? One, I came up with about 5 key ways qualities of love that we can practice day to day in our lives, that we can actually make a difference in the world and make a difference in our own lives. Because when we love others in the right way, we're loving ourselves in the right way. When we love ourselves in the right way with genuine love, then we're also loving others. It's a universal kind of a thing. One of the ways is kindness compared to coldness. When we see people, do we say hi? Do we smile? Are we friendly? Are we polite to people? Are we considerate to people? Do we look them in the eye with sincerity? Do we want to have maybe a meaningful interaction with them? Even if we're just passing on the street, what's our intention there? Or are we so wrapped up in our own stresses and our own problems that we don't have the interest, we don't take the time, we don't care to be considerate of other people? Next one is oneness compared to divisiveness. I see so much of this. What I saw today, there's an article about China. I lived in China off and on for about 20 years, and I speak Mandarin and I speak some Cantonese. Those are the 2 biggest languages. And so I got to know the culture pretty well by knowing the language, being able to speak the language and read quite a bit of it. So what I learned about China was the reality of what China really is. I lived in a lot of different cities. And there's an article that talks about some gangsters buying rats and selling their rat meat and selling it as pork or beef to restaurants in the form of maybe ground meat, because you can't sell a rat for a T-bone steak, right? That wouldn't work. But the article talks about, what about China? Sometimes I get these feelings too. What about these people? What are these people capable of? And one of the person's comments was, hey, when I heard that they found frozen cats in one of the coolers in a Chinese restaurant in New Jersey or something like that, that was it. No more Chinese food for me. But the thing is that that's the minority, Yeah, that does happen, and it happens more than it would happen in the States or some Western countries, because as the Cantonese say, these are the Southern Chinese people. They eat anything with four legs except a table. That's actually one of their phrases that they talk about. So I've been to Chinese restaurants where they serve dog, they serve cat, they even served rat there. People don't get sick. It's just that we have, some Americans eat horse, and some Americans are completely offended by the concept of eating horse. Some Americans are so offended with the concept of eating buffalo. But buffalo burgers are becoming more and more common. So the point that I'm making is that, should we demonize the entire Chinese race based upon the fact that they caught these guys selling rat meat? Sure, it's wrong. Sure, it's a terrible thing. But these kind of news articles create a real kind of divisiveness between us. And so do articles in China about Americans and their school shootings. And yeah, there's some truth to both sides, but do we want to focus on these horrible extremes, or do we want to focus on things that really emphasize our oneness? Because when it comes right down to it, we're a lot more one than we are divided. So when it comes to politics, when it comes to religion, when it comes to class, when it comes to even sports teams, people have killed each other about the soccer match. They just lose it. So do we want to let these things divide us, or do we want to remind ourselves one of the best ways of giving love is realizing that person there who seems so different, who has some different ideas than I do, we're still one. We're still sharing this planet. We still are human beings that want to get along and want to have happy lives. Let's focus on the things that we have in common. Patience compared to rushing. It happens every day in bumper-to-bumper traffic. When I used to live in Los Angeles, I would commute every day 2 hours to and from work, because I was living up in the mountains, the Malibu Mountains, and I'd have to drive into work in the city every day. Bumper-to-bumper traffic can be really frustrating. The pressure that we get from business, or the pressure that we get just from the money system alone, can make us impatient. Waiting in line for something, when we've just got a few minutes during our lunch break to go to the bank or to grab a bite or whatever we're doing. There's pressures on this world that really have absolutely nothing to do with quality of life. They have nothing to do with making the world a better place. But it's this system, this prison that we're stuck in, this money system about productivity, and that absolutely so much of the time produces nothing. But we get this pressure on us, we have this pressure. So sometimes one of the ways that we can show love and give love away, give it away. Give your love away by being patient, by being kind. When you're online in the bank, look around, smile, a little kid there, say hi to the kid, play with the kid. Enjoy your day, enjoy your time, enjoy the wait. When you're in the car, bumper to bumper traffic, don't honk your horn in aggravation, but we can smile at the other drivers, or wave at the other drivers, or listen to some MP3, in our car, or listen to something interesting that's educational, enlightening, and uplifting, makes us happier, as opposed to getting into the aggravation of being impatient. Action compared to inactivity, number 4. So we need to be more active sometimes. Sometimes we don't really proactively give love in the world. There are a million things we can do every day to be grateful for just the luck that we're having in life, the way things work out. Waking up in itself is a thing that can be wonderful, another day of life. If we're taking action like being grateful, we're taking action like seeing something that needs help, seeing something that needs to be improved, instead of sitting in front of the TV and being stressed out about this or that, or instead of closing ourselves off, being more active, seeing things that we can do to contribute to the world around us. There are a lot of problems in the world, but the problems are not insurmountable. They become insurmountable when we divide, when we fight, when we take no action whatsoever, when we argue about it, and when we don't come to the situation with a positive attitude. Finally, number 5 here, it has to do with intentions. If our intention is to love, because we believe the universe is kind, if we believe we're living in a kind universe, which is foundational, maybe one of the most foundational beliefs, as foundational as believing in love, trusting in love, having the intention, because this universe is a good universe, we've got a chance. And the things that I can do can make a difference in my day and the people around me. The things that we do can build a more positive world, because it can be so frustrating when we don't understand love, when we don't understand how the world works, when we don't understand where these pressures are coming from, and is this all the world is about? It can really bring us down, and we give up, we become depressed, apathetic, negative. But if we have the intention inside of us, based upon faith and love, based upon an understanding of how the world works, based upon an understanding of what our personal mission is, knowing who we are, knowing, okay, this is the part I want to play. I want to be the best darn blah blah in the world, or I want to contribute this. I want to work with kids. I want to work with animals. I want to work with helping people with their businesses. I want to help people with whatever, I want to be a caretaker in a healthcare facility. There are a million things that we can do that are contributing to the world. And if we have the intention to do something positive, to take action, to be patient with each other, to recognize our oneness, and to be kind to each other, that's going to bring joy, that's going to bring happiness to us. And that's going to bring joy, happiness, and more love to the world in general. So we give away love. Let's give it away. Don't be stingy with love, because the more you give, the more you get. But that's a selfish motivation, isn't it? Oh, I want to get love, so I'm going to give love. And no, it doesn't work that way. It's just kind of a frosting on the cake type of thing. If we're really giving love, it's not going to hurt us, is the point. It's not going to make us lose all of our love. Love doesn't work that way. The more we open up our hearts and the more we share, the more we're kind to each other, and the more we're looking to provide, to be a solution in the world, and to provide our skills, our talent to other people, the more joy we're going to get. If we're angry and we're fighting and we really give up and we think this world is a hostile place, I have a terrible life, I have so many problems, if we're focusing on that instead of gratitude and understanding how wonderful things can be and how wonderful things are when we look at them with the right viewpoint, with the right intention, it changes the world completely. It changes our personal world. So when we give love, we have more love in our lives. When we focus on giving it away. Okay, so I share some links here below about the Love Buddy website, the Love Buddy Facebook page, and also some courses that are going to be coming up in June 15th. The Love 101, it's an introduction to genuine love. Some final comments here. Why do people still have so much trouble in life? Why is the world in chaos? It's because people are not studying love. I was never taught love in any of the many religions I was involved in many of the self-help books that I read, or seminars that I took, or other studies that I undertook. People didn't talk about love directly. There was no focus on the concept of love. But I have found that in my life, from my understanding, from my experience, to be the foundation for everything. If you want to do anything, love is a solution to that. And the more we understand love, the qualities of love, there's a free ebook. There's a link here for the free ebook that talks about 68 qualities of love. So the more we understand love, the more we can have love in our lives, and we don't have the chaos, and we don't have this divisiveness, we don't have this this fighting. So let's share love with each other. Let's teach love. Let's learn love. Let's understand love. Let's be more loving to each other. And we'll be making the world a better place. Okay, so that's it for today. My name is Matthew. This is a live video from Love Buddy. We have a live video every day, 10 p.m. New York time. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for any feedback. Any feedback you have is really appreciated. It helps me to keep in touch with what the heck I'm saying. Am I way off base? If there's anything that you want to share, whether it's a question or a challenge or whatever, please share. I really appreciate it when you do. That's it for today, and we'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Have a great day.